Okay, hi everybody. My name's Autumn. Welcome to the yoga. As one of my great teachers would call it, the yoga. So we're going to get started on our backs today. It's the theme of the week. So I recommend constructive rest, but if you have another position that feels good for you. So constructive rest is lying down on your back. Knees are bent, feet are planted not distance apart, and then your knees fall together. So you're just like lying down, knees bent, feet planted, not distance apart, knees together. And then just take a hand to your belly, one to your heart if that feels okay for you. And taking your time to get there, taking your time to settle in. And once you are there, create some space just to pay attention. Whatever is there, it's okay. You don't need to fight it and you don't need to follow it. So both of those things are tempting. You notice some discomfort, you notice some thought, and you follow it. You believe it and you latch onto it. Or you try to fight it and push it away. Instead, can you allow it to be there, not fighting it, not following it, creating some space for it, and then just bringing that attention back to the breath. Even if you have to do it a million times, which we all do. It's just that practice of redirecting your attention, redirecting your focus onto your breath. And if you'd like, keep your eyes closed or they can be open with a soft gaze. And then on your next breath, you can keep your eyes closed or you can open them, either one is fine. You're going to gently curl both of your knees into your belly and give them a nice hug. From here, lift up the head and shoulders. Feel that core start to fire up. You can take the fingers and place them behind the base of the skull. Elbows come out wide rather than hugging in for right now. And then flex through both of your feet. From here, as you inhale, you're going to start to straighten your legs up towards the sky. They might come all the way straight or they might not. Doesn't matter. And then as you exhale, you're going to curl your knees in. You can tap your elbows to the outside of the knees now. As you inhale, extend those legs all the way up towards the sky. And then as you exhale, you're going to curl those knees in, tap the elbows to the knees. Take a couple more on your own breath. Inhaling to expand, exhaling to curl. And then on this next one, you're going to end with those legs extended up. Remember, knees can be a little soft. Legs don't have to be perfectly together. Keep your head and shoulders lifted, and then you're just going to take little pulses with the head and shoulders. So lift up just a little bit, crunch up, and then lower down to a hover. Exhale to lift up, inhale to lower down. Exhaling out the mouth might help, or if you'd like, inhaling and exhaling through the nose. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and then on this last one, lift, keep holding. Neck is long here rather than crunching up. Breathing here, really directing that energy into firing up your belly, feeling the low back on the mat. For 5, remember knees can be bent, no worries. 4, 3, 2, and then as you exhale, release the head and shoulders on the mat. Curl your knees into your belly. Watch that sensation in your belly start to release. And then from here, a little sway from side to side, just hugging those knees in. From here, you're going to re-release those legs down onto the mat about mat distance apart. And then you're going to let both of your knees fall over to the left-hand side. So that right knee internally rotates, that left knee externally rotates. Taking the arms either to goalpost or to a T. And if you'd like a little more intensity here, you can take that left ankle and just hook it on top of that right knee. That'll push that right thigh, that inner thigh down a little bit further, that right knee down a little bit further. From here, maybe gazes over that right shoulder if you'd like a little deeper twist here. Or maybe you stare straight up at the sky. If you'd like to close the eyes, close the eyes. Direct that breath into the space you feel the most sensation, probably the front of that right thigh. That twist through the spine. And then if that left ankle was hooked on top, you can slide it down. Both knees come all the way back to center and then let them fall over to the right-hand side. From here, once again, option to hook that right ankle on top of that left knee to press down through that left inner thigh and left knee. And then maybe your gaze comes over that left shoulder. Eyes can always close here. And then on your next breath, we're going to slowly, slowly release that right foot down. And then take both knees all the way back to center. So we're working with eagle lately. We're going to do a little eagle on our back. You're going to reach your arms out to the sides and then cross that right arm on top of the left to give yourself a hug as you walk your fingertips back to grab towards your shoulder blades. So rather than ever taking full eagle expression right now, you're going to keep hugging yourself. From here, as you inhale, you're going to let your shoulders right up, let your elbows lift high. And then as you exhale, press down through the shoulders, press down through the elbows. Inhale, shoulders right up, elbows lift high. And then exhale to press down. One more time. And then refind center, maybe walk your fingertips back even more. And then you're going to take that, so that right arm is on top. You're going to take that left knee, cross it on top of the right knee. So it's the opposite with the leg. And just keep a single wrap right now. So squeeze your inner thighs together so there's no space in between your legs. And then from here, you're going to lift the head and the shoulders, and you're going to hover through the feet, curl the knees in towards the elbows in towards the knees. So from here, find a little crunch, try to feel your low back on the mat, find your core engagement, and feel at the same time that stretch through the upper back through the shoulders. As you inhale, you're going to release down and tap the toe down. And then from here, as you exhale, you're going to curl up, elbows up towards knees, knees towards elbows. And then slowly, slowly lower, tap down. And one last time, exhale, curl up, and we're just going to hold here for 5, 4, keep the neck long, 3, 2, and then release all the way down. From here, you're going to slowly, slowly unravel through those arms. Watch that intensity as it fades away. And then uncross that left leg from on top of the right. You can let the knees sway from side to side if that feels good. And then refinding your center. Arms come out to a T, and then that left arm crosses on top of the right. You're going to walk those fingertips back, back, back. Give yourself a nice big hug. Feel yourself creating some space in between your shoulder blades. And then from here, we'll take that same initial movement. So as you inhale, let your shoulders shrug up, let your elbows lift high. And then as you exhale, press the shoulders away from the ears, press the elbows down towards the belly button. Inhale to lift up through the shoulders, lift those elbows. And then as you exhale, gently press down. One more time, same movement. And then refinding neutral, maybe walking your fingertips back even more. From here, you're going to take that right leg, cross it on top of the left. Only a single rep today. Squeeze those inner thighs together. And then from here, as you exhale, you're going to curl up through the knees, curl up through the elbows, lift the head and shoulders off the mat. Stay here a little longer than you might think. And then as you inhale, you can gently release down, tap down. 2 more like that. As you exhale, we're going nice and slow. You're lifting up, curling the knees in towards the elbows, elbows in towards the knees. And then as you inhale, release down. Last one right here. Exhale, lift up, elbows towards knees, knees towards elbows. And then as you inhale, release all the way down. From here, gently, gently unraveling through those arms, watching that sensation as it moves. One of my favorite things to do. And then from here, unravel that right leg from on top of the left. You can let those knees just sway from side to side once again. And then from here, you're going to curl your knees into your belly, give them a hug, and just take one swift breath. Maybe you need more, that's okay, to come all the way up to sit and come through to your hands and your knees. So from here, really ground down through all 10 fingers, through the tops of the shins, through the tops of the feet as well. I mean the entire shin and the tops of the feet. And then from here, we'll take just a couple rounds of cat and cow or cow and cat. As you inhale, belly low, tailbone reaches high, and shoulders press back. So really try to bring your hips towards your shoulders towards your hips, and then look up. Neck is, throat is open. As you exhale, scoop that belly button in towards the spine, hunch through the upper body, push down through the finger pads, release your head. Inhale to bring that belly low, tailbone high, shoulders back, hips yearn towards shoulders, shoulders yearn towards hips, lift the head, look up. As you exhale, curl the belly button towards the spine, push through the pads of the fingers, find that rounding through your back. One more time here as you inhale, belly comes low, tailbone reaches high, shoulders press back, throat is open, look up. And then as you exhale, push down through the pads of the fingers, find that rounding through the spine, tuck the tailbone and let your head go. As you inhale, find a neutral spine. From here, you're going to reach that left arm straight out in front of you, thumb up, pinky down. Hug that arm in towards the midline. From here, ground down through the first knuckle of all 5 of your fingers of the right hand, and then push into the pads of the fingers so you don't feel all that weight in the wrist. Then from here, slowly drag that right leg straight back behind you. Spiral your pinky toes down. Flex through the foot. Breathing here as you hug both that left arm, that right leg in towards the midline, and then lift up a little bit through the ribs here. So you're not just dumping the ribs down towards the mat, just a little lift through the ribs. Reaching long, long, long through the finger and the toes, the fingers and the toes. And then as you exhale, you're going to release that left hand down, release that right knee down. So from here, finding that same stability at the other side. As you inhale, you're going to reach your right arm straight out in front of you. Thumb is up, pinky down, hug that arm in towards the midline. Take a glance at that left hand. Press down through all 5 of the knuckles, the first knuckles of that left hand, and then push down through the pad of each finger. Then from here, gently float that back leg. You should feel your forearm active and doing a lot of work rather than the wrist. Spiral that left pinky toe down and hug that leg in towards the midline, the arm in towards the midline. Breathing here as you notice if you're dumping your ribs down towards the mat. It's a tendency I totally have. See if you can suction those ribs up just a little bit and then reach long through the right fingertips through that left foot. And then on your next exhale, you can replace that right hand, replace that left knee. From here, tucking your toes underneath you, rooting down through all 10 fingers, and see if you can push down through the pads of the fingers more than anything else. Gently float those hips up and back, find your downward facing dog. From here, we're going to take a deep bend into that right knee as you reach your left heel down to the mat right away. Push down through the pads of the fingers, feel that stretch go into the back of that left leg. And then from here, start to reach your right heel down as you straighten through the right leg. Bend that left knee deeply, reach that right heel down. So then we'll switch one more time, nice and slow. So you're bending through that right knee, reaching that left heel down, big stretch to the back of that left leg. And then taking the other side. So slowly, slowly sinking that right heel down, bending through that left knee, and feeling that opening through the back of that right leg. From here, find your neutral position in down dog. Maybe knees are straight, maybe they're bent. Doesn't matter. And then from here, soften your knees, push down through the pads of the fingers, and take a step all the way up to the top of the mat. From here, let your head be heavy. Your knees can be soft. It might allow your upper body to release even more. And then from here, you're going to take that left hand and grab the outside of that right ankle And then take that right hand all the way up towards that right hip. So remember, knees can be bent, knees can be straight, doesn't matter. And then from here, twist from the belly and from the traction in that bottom hand to start to open up as if you were gonna press your chest onto the ceiling. So as if you could spin all the way completely upside down. Then if you'd like, that right arm can reach all the way up towards the sky. And then from here, if you'd like, right hand comes all the way back to the hip and then all the way back down towards the mat. Both hands release, let your head go. And then from here, walk that right hand towards that left ankle. Slowly, slowly taking that left hand all the way up towards that left hip and starting to twist by pushing down through that right hand and twisting from the belly too, to start to gaze up towards the sky on the left side. So almost as if you could plant your chest in the ceiling, spin entirely upside down. And then from here, maybe that left arm reaches all the way up. Breathing here. And then as you exhale, release all the way down, let your head go, let your torso go, let your heart just like melt down, let your neck lengthen. Then from here, you're gonna soften through your knees, take your hands all the way up towards your shin, stick your booty out just a little bit, and then take your arms into goal pose. This is one of my favorite things to do. Find that engagement in between the shoulder blades and squeeze your shoulder blades towards each other. So find that upper back feeling nice and strong, nice and engaged. And then from here, as you exhale, you're gonna start to round through the back, bring the forearms towards each other. You're still kind of bent over halfway. Inhale to open up through the back, lift the chest and squeeze the shoulder blades towards each other. And then as you exhale, just find that little round in the upper back, bring those forearms in. Inhale, we're opening the chest, last one here, squeeze those shoulder blades. And then as you exhale, find that rounding through the back, let your head go. Then reach your hands all the way down towards the mat, let your head release, let your upper body release, and then pressing down through all three corners of both feet, soften through the knees and roll up to stand one vertebrae at a time. Head is the very last thing to rise. Finding your Tadasana and just paying attention for a moment to how your body feels, maybe how it was different from before. Arms released down by the side. And then from here, really grounding down again, big toe mound, pinky toe mound, and heel. As you inhale, reach your arms out, up, and all the way overhead. Gaze up, look at your hands. And then as you exhale, you're gonna fold all the way down over your legs, let your back flatten as you release. Inhale, we step that right foot back, find the lunge here. We're gonna add a variation right away into the sun salutation. Plant that right hand down underneath that right shoulder, and as you inhale, reach that left arm up. So you're just gonna take a little twist, and then as you exhale, that left hand comes down to the mat and you step all the way back to downward facing dog. See if you can do that in one breath. And then as you inhale, roll all the way through, find the plank position. Good. As you exhale, lower the knees down and then lower all the way down to the belly, elbows bend straight back. Inhale to untuck the toes, tense your fingers just a little bit underneath your shoulders, and then start to lift up, find that engagement in the upper back. Little tuck of the chin in towards the chest. From here, as you exhale, release down. Inhale, press through the finger pads, lift up one more time. From here, sliding the palms down to the mat, lifting from the belly, coming to hands and knees first or straight to downward dog. You choose, but belly lifts rather than dumping any weight into the low back. From here, as you inhale, lift that right leg back high to the sky. As you exhale, knee comes towards nose and foot comes in between the hands. You can always have some help getting it there. From here, plant that left hand this time. As you inhale, lift that right arm up. So twisting to the other side. So now as you exhale, you're gonna see if you can step into that Uttanasana, that forward fold. So the right hand comes down, the left leg floats, and you step all the way up into Uttanasana. It's okay if it takes a couple of steps. Let your head go. As you inhale, soften the knees, open the heart, rise all the way up to stand. And then as you exhale, hands come palm to palm at heart center. Yeah. Same thing, other side. Inhale, soften the knees, reach the arms out, up and all the way above, gaze up. As you exhale, open-hearted fold all the way down over your leg. From here, on the inhale, the left leg steps back. Plant that left hand underneath the left shoulder as you inhale, twist up towards the right. Reach that right arm up towards the sky. Good, and then as you exhale, see if you can bring that hand down and step all the way back in one breath. Inhale to glide forward, find your plank position. And then as you exhale, either knees lower first or straight torso, but come all the way down to the belly, hug the elbows in towards the ribs. And then as you inhale, you're gonna untuck the toes, temp the fingers, lift the heart, squeeze in between the shoulder blades. Soften through that low body. And then as you exhale, release down. Inhale, fingers stay tented, lift up. And then slide the hands underneath the shoulders. Once again, you're lifting from the belly. Either come to the knees first or come all the way up and back and find your downward dog. Rooting down again through the finger pads. As you inhale, lift your left leg high behind you. As you exhale, curl the knee in towards the nose, and the foot eventually makes it in between the hands. From here, keep that right hand planted, ground down, twist from the belly, lift that left arm up, look up towards the sky. From here, as you exhale, you're gonna reach that left hand down and see if you can float that right leg all in one fluid motion. Release into Uttanasana. Maybe it works well, maybe it doesn't. As you inhale, soften the knees, open the heart, rise all the way up, reach the fingers up. And then as you exhale, hands find heart center. Refind your Tadasana, good. Inhale, reach the arms out, up and all the way above. And then as you exhale, open-hearted fold all the way down over your legs, let your head go. This time you're gonna keep your right foot forward and inhale to step your left foot back. Find a low lunge. So fingertips stay down on the mat, yearn the heart forward, so press the hips forward, lift through the chest just a little, so you'll feel that stretch going to the left hip flexor. And then as you exhale, you're gonna start to straighten through that front knee. It might straighten a lot, maybe not, but you're gonna start to reach that chest down, see if you can keep it glued towards that left leg, that right leg, as you find a variation of pyramid pose. The leg comes mostly straight, a little bit straight, whatever, towards straight. And then as you inhale, you're gonna rebend and start to lift the chest once again. So press the hips forward so you feel that stretch go through that left hip flexor and lift through the heart. And then as you exhale, push down through the fingertips and start to straighten through that front knee. Maybe it straightens a little, maybe a lot, doesn't matter. You can also take blocks under your hands. You can always reach your hands to your hips as well, and that'll allow you to straighten your leg a little bit more. And then from here, one last time, inhale, rebend through that front knee. Feel that stretch go into the hip flexor, yearn the heart forward. And then as you exhale, start to straighten through that front knee. Release the chest, release the head. From here, you're gonna take a softness into that front knee and then slowly come into a lunge once again, but the hands are gonna lift up and reach straight back behind you. Start to lift your belly off of your thigh. So you're almost in this kind of floating lunge. Notice if your shoulders are shrugging up towards the ears, press them down and then towards each other. As you inhale, sorry, there's an ambulance. As you inhale, you're gonna start to lift through the chest, lift through the belly, rise up into a lunge, high lunge, arms turn the ears. And then as you exhale, you're gonna bend through the back knee, dip it towards the mat. Inhale, straighten the back knee. And then exhale, start to tip forward, find those winged arms straight back behind you, squeeze your shoulder blades. 2 more times, just like that. So as you inhale, rise up, lift the low belly, reach the arms up. Exhale, dip that back knee. Inhale, straighten. And exhale, tip that chest forward. I don't know if your thighs are burning, but mine are. We're in this together. Squeeze those inner thighs together. As you inhale, rise all the way up, high lunge. And then as you exhale, dip that back knee to the mat. Inhale, straighten, and exhale to tilt your chest forward, reach your arms back. From here, you're gonna reach both fingertips down or those palms down, whatever reaches, re-bend through that front knee, dip that back knee to the mat. Now untuck the toes. Notice that release of tension in the leg. And then from here, keep that left hand down, press down through that hand. As you inhale, you're gonna reach that right arm all the way up towards the sky. Take a twist from the belly. Good. If you'd like, you can reach that right arm straight back behind you. Maybe you bend through that left knee and catch hold of the top of the left foot with that right hand. If that is too much in that left hip flexor, just release that foot back down. And then when you're ready, you can slowly take your hands back down. Frame that right foot. From here, tuck the back toes. Lift that back knee. Today, we're coming forward rather than back. So you're gonna root down through that right leg, tempt the fingers out in front of you, float that left leg, and find an Uttanasana, forward fold. So both feet are down at the mat, pressing down through big toe mound, pinky toe mound, and heel. And the top of your head is just super, super heavy towards the mat. From here, as you inhale, draw your hands to your shins, soften through the knees, stick your butt out, and lift your chest. Then take those arms back to goalposts. We're just gonna do this thing one more time. Squeeze those shoulder blades together. And then as you exhale, you're gonna bring your forearms towards each other, find your round in your upper back, and draw those shoulder blades away from each other. Inhale to burst that heart open. Yeah, I know it's funky, it's okay. As you exhale, draw the middle of your back up towards the sky, belly button in towards spine, forearms towards each other. Inhale to sink the chest down, squeeze the shoulder blades together. One last time. As you exhale, draw those forearms together, rounding through the upper back. And then as you inhale, reopen through the heart. And then as you exhale, fingertips find the mat, let your knees start to straighten to whatever degree they should or could or feel good like. And let your head fall. And from here, we're gonna inhale and just step that right foot back so that left foot stays forward. So keep that back knee lifted. You're in a lunge here. You're on your fingertips if that works for you. And then as you inhale, just start to sink the hips a little forward and lift the heart. And then as you exhale, you're gonna start to straighten through that front knee by pushing down through that front foot and pulling that thigh bone backwards in space. Maybe it straightens a little or a lot. Fingertips can stay down on the mat, hands can be on the hip. Let your head go. As you inhale, re-bend through that front knee. Yearn that heart forward. Feel that stretch go through the right hip flexor. And then as you exhale, re-straighten that through that front knee. Maybe a little, maybe a lot, let the head go. One more time, just like that, softening through that front knee, lifting through the chest, paying attention to where the sensation is. And then as you exhale, start to straighten through that front knee, release the head. Then from here, we start to bend through that front knee to find this lunge once again, but the chest starts to lift up off the thigh and the arms reach straight back behind you. So notice if the shoulders shrug up, and instead press them away from the ears and squeeze the shoulder blades towards each other. As you inhale, rise up, reach the arms up, pull the low belly up. Exhale, dip that back knee to the mat. Inhale to straighten, and exhale to tilt your chest forward. Squeeze your inner thigh. Feel that front leg really working. Two more times. Inhale, rising up. Exhale, dipping back knee. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, tilt that chest forward, reach your arms back. One last time. Inhale, rise up, belly lift, arms reach high. Exhale, dip. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, tilt all the way forward, squeeze your inner thighs together. Then from here, fingertips find the mat. Sink that back knee down, untuck the toes. Start to press the hips forward, feel that little bit of release in the legs. And then from here, plant that right hand down under that right shoulder. As you inhale, twist up towards the sky, reach that left arm high. Twist comes from pushing through that bottom arm and twisting from the belly button. Then from here, maybe that left arm reaches straight back behind you. And maybe you bend through that right knee, grab hold of the top of the right foot. Notice if this feels good or if it feels like you've pushed it too far. You can always release that foot. And whenever you're ready, foot releases. You're going to reach both hands down to frame that front foot. Tuck through the back toes, lift that back knee, tense the fingers out in front of you, push down through all three corners of that front foot, float that right leg, and find your Uttanasana, your forward fold. Top of the mat, let your head go. From here, you're going to soften the knees, let the head be heavy, and take a nice slow roll all the way up to stand. Finding your Tadasana, taking your time to get there. Sometimes when we move slow, we get just as sweaty, I notice, at least during this heat wave. So we are going to take eagle arms, but tree legs. So let's start with the legs and see how it goes. You're going to root down through that left leg and let your right foot be heavy, be light, and then float that right knee up. So start there. Notice if you're dumping and see if you can push down through the foot, lift up. From here, decide, sole of the foot to inner calf, maybe the ball of the foot on the floor, or you can take the sole of the foot to the inner thigh. Wherever you are, you're creating traction between the foot and the leg. If you push them into each other, it helps you from sliding. Then from here, that knee opens out. From here, you're going to reach your arms out to the side. We're going to take that left arm and we're going to bring it on top of the right and lock your fingers back. Give yourself a hug. So if this feels like a good place to stay, then stay. If you feel like your body needs a little bit more, maybe backs of the hands touch or palms touch for full eagle wrap. Wherever you are, you're going to start to lift those elbows just a little bit. If you're in full eagle, just yearn those forearms a little bit away from your face. Notice if you're feeling a lot in that left hip and see if you can push down through that left foot and rise up rather than jumping out into that side. Maybe you try closing your eyes and challenging the balance. And then on your next breath, slowly release to the hug first, if you are in full eagle. And then everybody release your arms all the way down by your side, root down again even further through that left leg. Right knee comes all the way up into the belly. Yeah, we got this, beautiful. And then as you exhale, release that right leg down, shake everything out. I like to do kind of goofy things to remind myself to release my shoulders. So whatever works for you. And then from here, we're going to find the other side. So really ground down through that right leg. Really root down, left leg gets light. Knee comes up towards the belly. So notice again, are you dumping into that hip? Can you ground down and rise up here? Grow taller. Find your breath. There's no rush to get to the next place, even though it feels like it is, even though your mind's telling you there is. And then from here, sole of the foot, maybe to inner calf, maybe all the way up to your inner thigh. Whatever you did on the other side is great. Just not right over the knee. And then from here, that traction, sole of the foot into inner thigh into sole of the foot. Knee opens out to the side. And then from here, we're going to work on those arms. You're going to take your both arms and reach them out to the side. Right arm is going to wrap on top of the left. You're going to give yourself a nice big hug. Walk your fingertips back. So listen to your body. If this feels like a lot, stay. There's so much in life that feels so performative, that there's so much pressure to be perfect with, and this is not one of those places. So give yourself a moment, take a breath. If you'd like, backs of the hands touch or palms touch. There's nowhere you have to be. And then wherever you are with the arms, your elbows can lift a little bit. If you're in full eagle, forearms can press away from you. Finding your breath, maybe challenging yourself by closing your eyes. And then one more breath here. Slowly release to that hug if you're not there already. And then slowly release the arms all the way down by the side. That left knee curls up into the belly. And then you step that left foot all the way down. Take a nice little, close your eyes so that you don't even think that anybody's looking at you, because no one can see you when your eyes are closed. And then just kind of like whatever with your body. What do you need? Right now I'm like, oh, my hips need to circle. Oh, my shoulders need to circle. I need to kind of flail a little bit. What do you need? Close your eyes. Doesn't matter what it looks like. I'm not looking at you. My eyes are closed. And then when you're ready, refine your Tadasana, top of the mat. Eyes can stay closed if it feels good. Go over here so you can see me better. As you inhale, arms reach out, up and above. As you exhale, deep forward, fold over your left. Inhale, you're going to draw your hands to your thighs, open your heart. We haven't done this yet, which is surprising for me. And stay. Spread your sit bones. Drag your big toes together and your heels apart. Find that engagement through the upper back. And then as you exhale, hands on the mat and you find your downward facing dog. Step, walk, float, whatever you'd like. As you inhale, glide forward, find the plank position. We're going to stay here for just a couple of breaths. So if your wrists are in pain, come down to your forearms, do it from there. From here, reach your heels back, top of the head forward, spread the shoulders. Find strength, find stability here. Find your breath. Notice if this hurts your wrist. Again, you can come to the forearms. You can also root down through the pads of each finger, just like we were doing before, and root down through the first knuckle of especially your pointer finger. And then as you exhale, you're going to hug your elbows in towards the midline. You can lower the knees or not, and lower all the way down to the belly. From here, untuck your toes. Walk those fingertips out to the top, outside corners of the mat. And then from here, yearn your shoulder blades away from your ears and squeeze them towards each other. Start to lift through the upper body, lift through the chest. So from here, come up as high as you'd like, but notice if you're squeezing your butt. Notice the difference, squeezing the butt and then releasing it. See if you can release the low belly completely and just lift through the upper body. Lots of engagement in that upper back, little tuck of the chin. And then as you exhale, just release the chest all the way down, release that sensation. Now from here, slide your hands all the way down underneath your shoulders and then ground down just like you're grounding into your downward dog, but you're start to lift the chest. So finding a low cobra first, again, noticing if you're squeezing in the low body and release, and then start to lift higher, squeezing the shoulders towards each other, shoulders yearn away from the ears, push down through the hands and grow the heart higher. So shoulders soft away from the ears, grow as high as you'd like. Notice that sensation in your back. Don't put yourself in pain to get to a position just because you think it's where you should be. Notice how it feels and stay there. As you exhale, you're lifting from your belly and coming to your hands and your knees. Then tucking your toes, lifting your hips, reaching them up and back and finding a downward facing dog. From here, as you inhale, you're going to draw that right leg high to the sky. Bend that knee, open the hip, stack that right hip on top of the left. Let that right heel dangle towards the glute. And then maybe take the gaze underneath that right armpit. Then from here, slowly re-square the hip. And you're going to curl the knee in towards the nose, step the foot in between the hands. Again, it can always help. From here, back heel spirals down. And as you inhale, you're going to rise up, find your warrior two. So notice what your tendencies are with warrior two. Can you pull that low belly up and drop your tailbone down? Can you find that deep bend through the front knee without caving that knee inwards, right? Reaching out long through the fingertips of both hands. And then from here, I want you to start to reach your right fingertips forward as far as you possibly can. Let your chest tilt forward. And then I want you to reach your left fingertips back. So I'm going to let yourself tip back. So from here, right fingertips reach forward as if it's like a tug of war of your body, trying to grab something with that right hand. And then from here, same thing. Back hand is reaching towards something. I'm reaching towards that fireplace behind me. One more time, each side. Reaching right fingertips forward, leaning forward, and then reaching left fingertips back. See if your legs can stay the same. And then refine that neutral position. Lift up in the low belly, soften the shoulders away from the ears. We're gonna take one quick ego wrap with the arms. I know the legs are feeling it, well, they are for me. You're gonna take that left arm on top of the right arm, give yourself a nice squeeze, walk the fingertips back. This is super familiar. And then from here, backs of the hands touch or palms touch, or stay with the hug if that feels right for your body. Notice if you're sticking your butt out, it's a common tendency. Check that tailbone underneath. Forearms reach away from your face. One deep inhale. As you exhale, you're going to straighten through that front knee. Inhale here, and as you exhale, take a triangle variation, but keep your arms as they are. So really root down through that right foot. Don't let that right knee hyperextend, and start to tilt your torso but sideways down just a little bit. You can't cheat with support here by using that bottom hand. Lots of strength here. Ground down through your feet. Squeeze your inner thighs together. And then as you inhale, rise all the way back up. And then open those arms all the way out towards the T. Feel that juiciness release. And then as you exhale, bend through the front knee. Cartwheel the hands down, train that front foot. You pop onto the ball of the back foot. Suction that right knee into the belly and step all the way back. Find your downward facing dog. You have an option, couple of breaths. You can take a vinyasa or you can take a child's pose. So you choose. I'll demo the vinyasa in case you're curious. When you're ready, refinding that downward facing dog. From here, as you inhale, reach that left leg high. Exhale to bend the knee, open the hip, let that left heel hang towards your glute, and look underneath that left armpit. And then from here, as you exhale, recenter your hips. Curl that left knee in towards the belly. Foot comes in between the hands. And then from here, you're going to reach that back heel down and cartwheel the arms up. Find your warrior two. So from here, once again, notice your tendencies, right? A lot of us stick the butt out. A lot of us lean forward. A lot of us cave this knee in. Notice what's going on. Pull up in the low belly. Reach the arms out long. And then from here, we're going to find that same movement. So you're going to reach those left fingertips forward, 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 forward. Lean the chest forward. And then tug of war. Reach the right fingers back, 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 back. And then reach the left fingers forward, forward, forward. This really reminds me of a tug of war view. And then reach the right fingers back, back, back. Remember your breath here. I didn't remind you of that on the other side. One more time. Left hand forward. And then right arm back. Refined neutral position. I know the legs are feeling it. Right arm comes on top. Left arm below. Give yourself a hug. If you'd like, eagle wrap. Forearms going away from your face. Elbows lift up. Notice if you're losing that low body. See if you can regain it. As you inhale, straighten through that front knee. And then as you exhale, you're going to start to tilt forward, hinge forward. Soften through that left knee if you have the tendency to hyperextend. And find this awkward triangle pose. So you're not using that bottom arm for support, but you're still feeling that stretch go through the right side of the body. You need to squeeze those inner thighs together for stability. And then on your next breath, rise all the way back up. Bending through that front knee and opening the arms nice and slow. Watch the sensation. As you exhale, you cartwheel the arms up, hop onto the ball of the right foot. Ground down through all 10 fingers, section that left knee in. Step all the way back, find your downward facing dog. Take just a couple of breaths here. Pay attention to maybe a little bit more openness that you're creating in the back of the legs. Ground down through all 10 finger pads. First knuckle of both pointer fingers. Spiraling the low belly up to the sit bones high. And then as you exhale, sink your knees all the way down nice and wide. Wide as the mat or even wider. Big toes together and sit all the way back on the heel. Find that release in your hips. As you walk your arms forward, keep your arms straight if it works for you. Let your head go. Find your breath. And then when you're ready, you're slowly going to roll all the way up. From here, make your way back to your hands and your knees. We're going to take this folded wings posture. It's a pretty common yin yoga posture. So you often hold it for a long time. We won't hold it for quite 3 or 5 minutes. You're going to cross your right arm in front of the left, and then you're going to start to sink your chest down. Your palms can face up towards the sky. So we've already kind of warmed up the shoulders quite a bit with our eagle. If your elbows bend, it'll make it a little less intense. The straighter they are will make it more intense. So we're creating some space in that upper back. Let your head go. And see if you can find stillness here. Find a place where you feel sensation, but it's not so much sensation that you can't stay, that you can't keep your attention here. It's okay to dial it back if you need to. And then on your next breath, slowly start to slide all the way up. Nice and gentle. Hands come underneath your shoulders, refind your hands and your knees. Watch the sensation as it fades. And then opposite arm in top. So left arm in front, right arm behind. Your palms can face up towards the sky and you can start to slide your chest down. From here, elbows can soften. If they do, notice that is going to make it a little less intense. So depending on how intense you want it, elbows can be a little straighter. You can be a little higher lifted or a little bit deeper sunk down. Let your head go and pay attention to the sensation. On your next breath, slowly dragging yourself all the way back up. Coming into your hands and your knees, watch your sensation as it moves. From here, we're just going to take one sweet round of cat-cow. So as you inhale, belly low, tailbone high, shoulders back, look up nice and gentle. As you exhale, belly button towards the spine. Round through the upper back, let your head go. Refinding a neutral spine, you're going to come to sit, swinging your legs out in front of you. So from here, you're going to bend your right knee, take the sole of the right foot and plant it to the outside of that left leg. So you can either keep that left leg extended or you can take that left ankle to the outside of that right hip. Sit up nice and tall here. And then from here, right hand reaches behind you, left arm reaches skyward. And then as you exhale, twist from your belly. And then you can either hook that elbow to the outside of the knee, or maybe you just give that leg a hug. Whatever feels good today. As you inhale, think of growing taller and opening the heart more. And as you exhale, think of twisting deeper. Notice if you're like me, if the sole of that right foot wants to lift up, and see if you can really ground it down onto the mat. So internally rotate that right knee towards that left rib cage, and that'll help you ground down through that right foot. Deepen that twist, deepen that stretch in that outer glute. And then come all the way to center, unraveling yourself. Taking Gomukhasana or half Gomukhasana with the leg. So wherever you are with that bottom leg, the top knee is going to stack on top of it. You're going to reach that foot to the outside of the left hip. You can take your hands to the soles of the feet or just release the arms down, whatever works for you. Take just a breath or two here, maybe releasing a little forward into a forward fold. And then on your next breath in, come all the way up to sit. You're going to take hold of that right leg, curl it in, plant that foot, left leg plant, and then you're going to reach both legs out long again. So from here, you're going to take that left knee in towards the belly, plant the sole of the left foot to the outer right thigh. And then from here, again, a choice. If you'd like, you can bend through that right leg and take the heel to the outside of the glute on the left side, or keep that leg extended, either side. From here, think about it at the beginning this time. Try to take this knee towards this rib cage. So your left knee comes towards the right ribs, and that helps you root down through that left foot. From here, ground down to that left hand behind you. Reach the right arm up as you inhale, and as you exhale, twist. Maybe hook that elbow to the outside of that leg, or maybe just give that leg a nice hug. From here, think about as you inhale, grow tall, and as you exhale, twist deep. And then on your next breath, slowly unravel. And we're going to take a Gomukhasana variation. So whatever that bottom leg is doing, keep it there. If it's straight or bent, doesn't matter. You're going to take that left knee, stack it on top of the right knee. Sole of that left foot comes to the outer right hip. And then from here, maybe hands come to the soles of the feet. Maybe you sit up tall, or maybe you take a gentle forward fold. Just a couple breaths here. On the next inhale, slowly roll all the way up to sit. From here, take hold of that left leg nice and gently, lift it. Step that foot all the way down. And then the right foot steps down. So you're going to keep your knees bent as you roll to your back. Belly button towards the spine, reach the arms forward, find the round in the back. Release all the way down. And come into your Shavasana. So maybe you want to keep the knees bent and the feet hip distance apart, or not distance apart, the knees not together, or maybe you want to reach the legs out long and let the feet flap open, arms by your side. Let everything go here. So staying in the Shavasana for as long as you'd like. These virtual Shavasanas are really short, so feel free to just stay exactly where you are. If you're ready to make your way out, you can start to deepen your breathing, bringing movement into your fingers and your toes, your wrists and your ankles. And then from here, bending your knees up into your belly, giving them a squeeze, and rolling on to one side. Pressing into the palms, let your head be heavy, and come all the way up to sit. So one of my teachers the other day was talking about how different ones of us have different strengths. And so some of us really gravitate towards strength building. And some of us really gravitate towards kind of sinking into those deeper stretches, right? And there's all many different variations within that, right? There's so many different things that we gravitate towards or our bodies gravitate towards. And he says to find balance, whatever our tendency is, can we challenge that, right? My tendency has always been towards fire, movement, challenge, go, 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 1,000,000 miles a minute. And so for me, can I pull back and can I see what's there when I challenge my natural tendencies? And in the opposite realm, people who have always that tendency to kind of move slower, not to kind of gravitate towards that challenge, kind of sink in. Can they try that and see what's there, right? And then pay attention to what's there. Your body will tell you if you listen to it. And so I think the idea of kind of challenging our tendencies and at the same time listening to our bodies, it's like another teacher said the other day that paradox is like the only truth. And I believe that more than anything. It's like in order to listen to our bodies, we have to kind of challenge our innate tendencies, but we also have to accept our innate tendencies and exactly who we are in order to grow. And most people believe like all those things can't be true at once because they contradict each other. But who said contradiction can't be true? And so I know this little talk is probably pretty confusing and doesn't really give you any clarity. But the idea is, can we, instead of searching for answers, can we search for approaches? Can we search for questions rather than needing to have everything figured out, structured, set, comfortable, safe? Can we be comfortable existing in that space of uncertainty, in that space of exploration, of constant recalibration, rather than it having to be, this is true, I know this is true, this is exactly how it is, right? Truth is shifting, our truth is shifting, our identity is shifting, our way of navigating the world is shifting, and can we accept that and be on that journey versus grabbing onto the idea of needing a linear path, needing a straight truth, needing an answer always. So just like a little light Thursday evening talk. Thank you for practicing with me this evening. Let's take our hands onto palm in front of the heart. The light in me honors the light that shines so brightly in each and every one of you. Thank you. So I will hopefully see you on Saturday at 11, and then I'll send out a new schedule. Either Sunday, hopefully, probably Sunday evening is my goal. See you all soon.